Hey VC, we're back. Look, I'm coming at you with another video here. And this time we're gonna do the album art tag 2026. This was put together by Jack at The Vinyl Voyage, who's got an awesome channel. If you haven't, you should check it out. And anyways, he had put together a really fun tag here that I'm really excited about, and we'll just jump into it right away and get into this thing. So the first one is show an album with a band or artist just looking cool. And I've shown this one before, but it's so cool, right? Look, it's Overkill, Feel the Fire. It's their first album from 1985, thrash metal from New Jersey on the Megaforce label. But look at that, just check that out. It's all about the album artwork, walking away from a flamed up fire. Very cool, right? Number 2, show your weirdest, trippiest, most controversial album cover. So I'm gonna do one for each. I'm gonna do a weird, I'm gonna do a trippiest, I'm gonna do a most controversial. And the most controversial, I'll show you as much as I can. I may have to cover some things up so that I don't get taken down from YouTube. But the first one, weird. Body Counts, second album. It's from 1994. This is Ice-T's hardcore group. And this album is called Born Dead. And I'll pull this out so you can take a better look at it. But you have babies in the cradle there. Some are on life support, some are tied up in strings. It's not a pleasant picture. And then on the back, you've got this rowdy crew. And check out this guy. This guy's even got a gun in his mouth. And to take things one step further, check out the label. You have a fetus with a noose around its neck. So essentially, born dead. All right, so that one is, I think there's no question that that one's weird and strange. And it also, that rap rock was kind of a new thing that Ice-T started and was a pioneer of. So I would say that was also probably weird at the time, right? Okay, so trippiest. I'm going with this guy here. We'll get it. This is Whit Hooser and Wes Trupp. This is called Trips in Trauma. And this is a really good psych album. This is a German pressing on Ohr. I'll show you the cover here. Very, very trippy. And even on the inside here, also extremely trippy. It's a good album. I'll show you the label too. The label's super fun. And then we'll keep it moving. The ear. It's a great album. This one's from 1971. And then the last one we have is the controversial album. So I'm gonna show you this one quick, and then I will cover up what's controversial, and we'll go about it like that. So for the most controversial, we have Scorpions, Virgin Killer, and I'll cover that up now. And they have an underage girl here that is completely naked. And then they also have something that's pointing towards her nether regions, which is not a good thing. This is actually the cover that they had in the US because the original German cover there was a little too obscene for America. And I think it's too obscene for everybody right now. Great album. It's their fourth album from 1976, but the cover, definitely controversial. Definitely one of those ones that is looked upon now as not good, and I don't think it was looked upon good back in the day. But we'll stop with that. Okay, the next question, number 3, show a sexy album cover, the sexiest album cover. All right, so I've got one for the ladies and I've got one for the guys, or depending on how you go, whatever. But the first one is Bo Diddley, The Black Gladiator. And this one is from 1970. It's on Checker. Bringing it in off the poly there. Look at that guy. Check out the back. Oh yeah, ladies love that, right? Now for the guys, or girls, the other album cover I've chosen is Jimmy McGriff, Electric Funk. And this was pretty common back in the day. This one came out in 1970 as well. This was on Blue Note. And it's got a lovely looking lady there on the front cover. And on the back, there's Jimmy. Not as sexy, but the front is, technically they would probably call this like a cheesecake cover, right? A sexy girl on the cover. But a great soul, funk, jazz album. Question number 4, show an album cover that you dislike, and then why do you dislike it? Okay, this one I had to contemplate on a little while, but it was pretty easy when I got to it. Three Dog Night, Hard Labor. And you might be asking why this one. And it's got kind of a fun cover. I will give them that. It has a fun cover. So you have your manila envelope, which is your folder when you go to the hospital, right? Because something's clearly going on here. It looks like we're in an OR, or we're doing surgery here. And then you have the folder here. And then if you open up the folder, you realize that it's this something, whatever it is, giving birth. And they've put a big Band-Aid over her midsection because they don't want to show what it is. And then if you open it up, it has the band all around the birthing canal and the records inside there. So it's absolutely ridiculous. This is from, I think, 1974. It's not a great album. It's one of Three Dog Night's not so great albums, but I always wondered what was behind the Band-Aid, right? What were they covering up? If you get a later pressing, or if you get even an earlier pressing earlier than this, you can see what is actually behind there. And I'll show you, it's on this cover that doesn't have the Band-Aid. It's a record, so it looks exactly like the label on the record inside there. But if you look at what's giving birth there, it has like a child's mask, and then it has lizard feet, and all the surgeons and everybody in there are extremely concerned, for good reason, right? And then on the back here, you have this child on this carousel with that same mask or a similar mask. I don't know, everything about it is wrong. And it has like nothing to do with the music. It must have been some kind of gimmick. But anyways, that's the terrible art cover. Question number 5. Show an album cover that features a creature from the animal world. Okay, we're back with Mr. Bo Diddley here. And I've got him on this majestic horse with this super psychedelic coat that he's got on here. Look at that thing in his hat, his glasses. And then there's several horses up above him. This one's on RCA from 1976, and it's the 20th anniversary of rock and roll. This is a really fun album. And I got a twofer for you, so we won't stop with that. We also have Jack DeShonette's Cosmic Chicken, and he's sitting in the clouds and this chicken's going by him. This one came out in 75, and on Prestige. And it's a really bizarre cover. Good album, but bizarre cover. This one's a white label promo. And Jack just passed away this last year, 2025. So RIP Jack, but thanks for the funky chicken cover. Number 6, show an album cover with an interesting backstory. What's the story? All right, I have got the perfect one for that. And it is from 1970, CSNY, Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, Deja Vu. This is an amazing album. I think everybody knows this album, but the story behind it is this photo. And this photo here was taken in Novato, and that is where I used to live. And it's amazing because this house still exists and this tree still exists. This tree in the background here, which might be kind of hard to see, is an old live oak that has branches that go out horizontal. But it's still there. And I used to frequent the record store in Novato. It was called Watts Music. And the owner of that house actually came into Watts Music to get a copy of this album because he wanted a copy because it was his house. And at the time when they took this photo, David Crosby was living in this house because they rented it out. So it was the backyard of the house that David Crosby was in. And they wanted it to look old-timey, and they wanted these sepia tones in the photograph. And so they used the old box-style photography machine camera, and you had to sit still for 2 hours to do that. So they did that, and in the process, this dog came into the photo, and so they left the dog. The dog became part of the photo, and it turns out that the photo that they took with the box camera didn't turn out, so they ended up having to do a 35 millimeter exposure. But I think it's a really cool story, and it's connected to a place I live, and it's also an amazing album. So that is my choice. CSNY Deja Vu from 1970. Okay, the next question we have is show an album that has an interesting sleeve design. For instance, a die cut or pop-up sleeve. And my choice for that is the Wailers' Catch a Fire. So this one, I'm gonna pull it out for you, but I gotta be really delicate with this one. This one came out in 1973, and this is arguably one of Bob Marley and the Wailers' best albums. There's the Island label. This is the original US pressing. But what makes this so special is that this is actually supposed to be like a Zippo lighter, right? You see the rivet here, right here on the side, which those are always torn out. Mine is not, but if you open it up, there you have the flame. And then on the back, you have the track listing. But I think it's pretty easy to see why this one usually is in terrible shape, or the cover is detached, or the rivet is ripped out, because you have to be unbelievably gentle with this if you want it to survive. And luckily, I've found a survivor that I've kept clean all these years. All right, number 8, show an album where the sleeve art was the primary reason you decided to take a chance on the music. I've got a couple of recent picks here. The first one is Chairman of the Board, and this is called The Skin I'm In. This is an awesome funk soul album. I didn't know exactly what I was getting into, but I was also, the timing strip I was attracted to, and then the other thing that I was attracted to is it's on the Invictus label. And if you're familiar with the Invictus label, there's some killer funk and soul albums that came off of the Invictus label. Even the very first Parliament album, Osmium, came off of the Parliament label. And you also have a lot of the Funkadelic players playing the backup music on here. So awesome awesome album, awesome find, awesome blind buy, right? Because of the album art cover. The other one, I got two, is Ice. This one came out in 1974 on the Prestige label, and this is another just killer funk soul album, and I just thought it looked cool, right? Like you had footsteps trotting off to this ice chest out in a frozen tundra. Kind of reminds me of where we're at right now. We're in Minneapolis, and the low tonight's supposed to be -23. So I'm feeling this. I'm feeling this ice in more ways than one. But in the back here too was another reason why I decided to go with this album. I saw these guys all jamming here. I saw some horns, which I like, guitars, drums. I had a pretty good idea that this was going to be something killer, and it was. So definitely lucked out with that one. All right. Number 9, show your most battered sleeve that has the most wear and tear, ring wear, creases, tears, or an album that has a particular battle scar. So I don't keep a lot of things that are in tough shape, but I will tell you, I do have an album that I got probably about 10 years ago when I was a little newer to collecting, and I was so stoked. It was Otis Blue, Otis Redding. This is an original 65 stereo pressing. It's a Monarch, just absolutely beautiful. And I was super excited. I think I got it off of eBay. I knew that was going to be in decent condition. I opened up the package, so I quickly grabbed the razor to open it up and didn't realize that they hadn't packaged it that well. And I put a slice, we'll see if we can see it here, right there. You can kind of maybe see it there. There's a slice right there that I did in an otherwise really beautiful, beautiful cover. And I mean, it's still not that bad, but every time I pull this out and I look at it, I'm reminded of that. And when I first did it, I hoped that that I didn't actually do it, or that it could wipe off, or that I'd close my eyes and open my eyes and it wouldn't be there again. But it's still there, and it will always be there. And that's just a reminder, I guess, to check the packaging before you open it up, and be careful, because you don't know how well they packed it. But other than that, it's still a gorgeous album. I still play it, and I'm really happy to have it. It just has a battle scar that I inflicted upon it. The other one I'm going to show you is one that I just picked up, and I don't know who butchered it and why, but it's a relatively rare album from '68. It's the Gosden Brothers. It's a Sounds of Goodbye. But look at that. Look at the cut, the corner cut there. It's so severe, right? It's in the shrink. It's beautiful. The album, it's the Capitol Rainbow label, in great condition. But look at that. They chopped it. And I don't think they chopped it like that at the stores. I think what happened is, I'll show you another album. This is my copy of Gandalf. You see the free or the promo on there? So Capitol didn't do white label promos, but they do these free punches. And I think this one was a free punch, because I'll show you. I think they cut that out of there because they didn't like it, because that's right where the free would be. So I'm guessing somebody lopped that off because they didn't like the free, or they thought if they try to resell it, if they cut the free off of there, you're good to go, which maybe you are, but you're losing a lot of precious real estate on the album cover there. So, okay, next question. We have number 10. We're rolling along here, folks. Show your favorite inner gatefold. Okay, this one took me a little while, but I finally settled on an album that I've had for a really long time and I absolutely adore, and probably most of you have it as well. It's the Allman Brothers' Eat a Peach, and this is my really nice promo copy. There's the promo, and you have that sticker in the front. But this gatefold is just ridiculous. Look at that. It's just like a fuzzy acid dream. There's mushrooms, There's fairies. There's all kinds of craziness going on. And it's a great inner gatefold sleeve to an absolutely amazing album. This one came out in 1972 on Capricorn. Okay, now number 11, show your favorite album cover. Why is it your favorite? I had a tough time with this doing just one, so I've got two for you again. I've got Indian Summer. It's a prog band. This is the one and only album they did. It's from 1971. And I'll pull this out so you can get the full effect, unfurl the gatefold for you. But I absolutely adore this cover and have been drawn to it for a really long time. So I was really excited when I finally found this. It's a US pressing, but I love how the desert meets the ocean here, and then it's all washed out, and you have these pink tones. And you've got this little fox guy here looking up at this. It looks like a swirl cactus. Just amazing, absolutely amazing. I don't know why, I can't pinpoint why I'm drawn to this album cover. I just am, and it's something that that I love. Another one that's really near and dear to me that took me a long time to track down as well is the very first album from Jimmy Buffett. It's called Down to Earth. This came out in 1970, and this is when he was doing more of the folk rock thing. But I love it. Look at him. He's in this old vehicle that's buried under rubble. I don't know if he's in a junkyard or if they just found this somewhere. But it's just a great cover. And then on the back, it's just a big picture of his face with his teeth. Look at it. You can see how long ago this was. He's still got jacked up chompers. That was before he got his teeth fixed, obviously. But I've always loved that cover too. All right, we just have one question left. And that is, if you had to live in an album cover for the rest of your life, which one would it be and why? And I chose this cover here. The album's called Bon Tempi. This came out in 1975. And it's called Bon Tempi because the reservoir that they're standing in front of is called the Bon Tempi Reservoir. It's in Marin County in California. And this is an area where, really close to where I used to live. And there's a series of reservoirs that there are trails for biking and hiking and everything in between. And it's absolutely gorgeous. And this is in the Kentfield Ross area, but this is obviously out in the thick of it. But this is where my wife and I definitely want to move back to and live again one day. So this one's really important to me, and I love it. So that will do it. There is a bonus question, is design your own cover, but I'm not an artist and I do not have the ability to do that. So I'm gonna bow out of that question, but I do want to thank Jack from the Vinyl Voyage for such an awesome vinyl tag, and everybody be well, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks.